Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurulain Amirah binti Syaiful Azmi. My ID number is BMH22-07-084 and I'm from class THI 5D. So in this video, I will explain two things, which are the steps in identifying halal control point and the risk management plan summary of our company. So let's move to the first thing, which is the steps in identifying halal control point. So basically, we use halal control point analysis worksheet to identify the halal control point for each process steps. So in this worksheet, we need to identify 4 halal streets, which are material, people, machine or equipment, and environment. After that, we need to identify if the halal streets considered as exclusion or inclusion for potential contaminant and precursor. And then we will evaluate the likelihood and severity impact of potential contaminant, and we will set the risk ranking. For the evaluation of the likelihood, we refer to this halalan Thayyiban control point likelihood ranking, and for severity impact, we refer to this halalan control point severity impact ranking. And lastly, we set the risk ranking based on the halalan control point risk matrix. So for your information, the process step will be considered as halal control point in rank 7, 8, and 9. Finally, we will set the control measure for each halal treats. So let's take a look at process step of packaging and labeling. So firstly, we look at the list of potential contaminant of halal treats for material. The potential contaminant is the packaging material got damaged and has a leakage, and the labeling is not suitable for food products. So for this potential contaminant, it considered as inclusion as potential contaminant because the finished product quality and shelf life will be affected and the product will be exposed to the chemical hazard. Next, we move to the evaluation. For this potential contaminant issue, the likelihood is M, which is moderate and known to occur, happened before. The severity is critical because it will result in loss of trust from customer, public, and authorities. Lastly, the risk ranking is 8 and it leads to the halal control point. So our control measure is packaging that has damage and leakage should be segregated and need to be disposed, and we will only use certified labeling ink, which is safe for food products. So next, we move to the next halal treats, which is machines and equipment. So the list of potential contaminant for this halal treat is decreased from machine maintenance, maybe from non-halal sources. So for this potential contaminant, it is inclusion as potential contaminant because decreased from non-halal sources may cause cross-contamination from haram sources. Next, we move to the evaluation. For the likelihood, we put unlikely because it practically impossible, and for the severity, we put critical because it affects the totality of halalan status. So as we can see, the risk ranking is 6 and it's not halal control point. Our control measure for this halal treat is we will purchase grease from halal sources only. So we move to the last halal treats, which is environment. So the potential contaminant for this halal treat is packing and labeling machines do not clean well after production. So for this potential contaminant, it is inclusion as potential contaminant because the pests such as cockroaches might attract around the machine. Move to the evaluation. For this potential contaminant, the likelihood is unlikely because it is practically impossible. And for the severity is moderate because the potential contaminant affects the halalan status still could be salvaged. And for the risk ranking is 3 and it's not the halal control point. So our control measure for this halal treat is we should clean frequently the packing and labeling machine right after production. So next, we move to the second things, which is the halal controllable risk management plan summary for process step, packing and labeling. So in this plan summary, we use one husband and four wife. So what is one husband and four wife? So one husband and four wife is stand for H, how, the method or procedure to monitor, W, what, the parameters to be monitored, when, required frequency to conduct the monitoring, where, the location or process to conduct monitoring, who, the identified person which is trained and competent to conduct monitoring activity and record it. We look at the halal controllable risk management plan summary for packing and labeling process step. So the first one is what, which is the parameters to be monitored is packing material record damage and has a leakage and the labeling ink is not suitable for food products. And then how, the method or procedure to be monitored is segregate the defective packaging and only use certified ink that is safe for food products. And then when, which is the frequency to conduct monitoring is before conducting a packing process. And then where, the location to conduct monitoring is at packing area and labeling area. And lastly is who, which is the identified person which is trained and competent to conduct monitoring activity and record it is operators and processing manager. So the corrective action for this halal control point is segregate the rejected packaging and mark with permanent marking so the operator do not use it for packing the product and company need to provide ink for labeling that was certified safe for food. So this monitoring system is need to verified by halal executive, storekeeper or processing manager, and records for this monitoring system is purchase order, delivery order, certificate of analysis and disposal from. So I think that's all from me. Thank you for give your time for hearing me. That's all from me. Thank you.